Hey, what's up, people? So, I'm entering the Air Force, and I'm going to talk to you about the ASVAB and what to trust, what not to trust in terms of what you need to study and how to study for it. There's a lot of inaccurate information out there on the internet, so I'm here to help you. I know pretty much everything there is to know. I have done so much research, so much studying. I'm sick of it. So, message me and I'll get back to you with an answer. To be eligible to enter the military, or sorry, the any branch of the military, could be the Coast Guard, could be the Air Force, could be the Marines, the Army, the Navy. You have to be a U.S. citizen. Now, if you have more than one nationality and you are a U.S. citizen, you're eligible. I'm a citizen of Brazil and the U.S. I'm eligible. You must be between the ages of 17 and 27 and have a high school diploma or a GED with at least 15 college credits. So those are the basic qualifications. There's other qualifications in terms of your physical weight in accordance to your height. If you don't know what your requirement is for your height in terms of weight, go on military.com and there's a weight chart to the left of the main page, and click on that, get on the weight chart, and calculate how many inches are and how many feet you are, and figure that out. I need to lose 12 pounds still. I gained all 12 or probably more this year. Probably gained like 20 pounds this year. I'm in college, so I'm pretty stressed out sometimes, and I tend to eat a little bit more later at night and not have as much time to work out. So that's not a big deal. That's my biggest obstacle right now, and I'll probably knock that out within the next 3 or 4 weeks. I actually have a treadmill right here in the room with me, so I've been on it about 10 miles a day, 2 hours a day, walking, jogging, running. So that's not a big deal. I'm not worried about it at all. So everyone's saying, get study manuals, study guides for the ASVAB. You're going to need to get those. If you don't get those, it's gonna be harder. Just get them. Get the ASVAB for Dummies. This is what it looks like. This is the 3rd edition. It covers all of the 8 subtests. Covers the 2 math, the 2 English, which are your most important sections. If you fail everything else, pass the 2 math and pass the 2 English. It's paragraph comprehension is 1 English subtest. The other one is word matching. This word most nearly means this word. And then arithmetic reasoning. It's a mathematical word problem. It's going to say something like, find the value of x. X equals something plus something equals something. So those are pretty easy. And then it has other, has general science. Know stuff like how far the moon is from the Earth, how many days or years or whatever it takes for the Earth to rotate around the sun. The 3rd planet from the sun is what. Know that kind of thing. Has some mechanical stuff on there. It also has a matching section. It'll show you a couple of shapes, and it'll have 4 to choose from, and it will say this is which one of these, and it's really easy to do. Go online, research it. You'll also need to get the ASVAB Barron's ASVAB flashcards. There's 400 in all. This was a great investment, mainly for the word knowledge and the science, and also the mechanical sections. So all it is this. These are all word cards. These are almost 200. So almost half of the entire package is just word knowledge. That alone tells you study your word knowledge. Study your math, study your word knowledge. Okay? So it'll have a question like aberration. You turn it over and it'll say a deviation from the standard or normal usually, but not always in a negative connotation. And it'll have synonyms and antonyms, and it'll use it in a sentence abrasively. Abrasively, in a way tending to cause friction. Acrimony, adamant, unyielding, aggrandize, something that's bigger or more significant than, stuff like that. So it's pretty easy. I have memorized all of these. It took me about a week and a half, spending about 4 hours a day for a week and a half, you know, it kind of sucks. But if you want to do well, do it. If you just want to be mediocre, kind of do it. And if you don't want to enter the Air Force at all, don't do it. It's up to you, really. So you're gonna get what you put into it. I read some critiques before I bought those Barron's ASVAB flashcards, and some people said they really worked well. One kid said that it was a waste of time and all that. It was definitely worth it. So I would say get that. If you have any questions, you can message me, and when you go in to see a recruiter, you're going to get something like this, and it has a few pages that you have to fill out. It includes your education, your work history, education history. Did you use drugs? When? Where? Have you been in jail? When? Where? That kind of thing. Background questions. Are you? It asks one question. Are you against? War? And if you are, that's immediate disqualification. So even if you are, you want to enter. Well, I don't know. Do what you think is morally correct, but you probably need to answer yes on that one, or I believe you'll be disqualified. Now, since I graduated in December, even though I don't have a technical degree, I have a Bachelor of Science in Public Relations and Advertising with a concentration in Marketing and Journalism. And I can use that in the Armed Forces. I don't want to use it. That's why I'm entering the Armed Forces. I recently had a change of mind, change of heart, and that's just not what I want to do at this phase of my life. So I am going to apply for a commission in the Air Force as an officer. To do that, you need to be under age 35 if you just want to be an officer. If you want to be a pilot, you have to do that by your 28th and a half birthday. You have to receive your commission by your 28th and a half birthday. So I'm 24. I still have 4.5 years to receive my commission. Time is of the essence. I'm not too worried about it because I'm getting it done. To do that, you do not have to take the ASVAB. So skip the ASVAB. Don't worry about it. You study for the AFOQT test. Google it. It's not as easy as the ASVAB. Instead of 2 hours long, it's about 3.5 hours long. Instead of 8 subsections, there's 12 subsections. It's a lot harder, but apparently it's doable because a lot of people pass it and get commissioned as officers. So if you think that's what you want to do, don't be discouraged. I was actually wondering if I could do it because my degree is not a technical degree, and everybody says you have to have a technical degree. No, you don't. You need to have a decent to excellent GPA. So I would say a GPA of 3.1 or above. I have a fairly good GPA. Be involved in. They want to see that you have leadership skills. So I was president of a club at college. I interned for the governor of Oklahoma, so I worked in politics a little bit. I interned for the oldest and most elite public relations firm in the state of Oklahoma. They were ranked in the top 6 in the nation. I interned for the Oklahoma Chamber of Commerce. They're one of the top 10 in the nation. So I've had intern experience, and I may do one more internship just for the heck of it. During my last semester of college before I graduated in December. Even if you're not interested in entering into that field of work that you are majoring in because of whatever reason, because you changed your mind or whatever, those internships will offer you recommendation letters. They will also offer you references. So those are essential to getting commissioned as an officer in the Air Force. Very important stuff. You can only take the AFOQT 2 times in your lifetime. So if you screw up one time, you only have 1 shot left. If you screw up that time, you're done. Doesn't matter if you take it a 3rd time and make 100 out of 100 on it. There's no way to waiver that. The 28.5 years you have to be commissioned by then to receive your position as an Air Force pilot. There's no waiver for that. So get it done. Um, Look up what radar, entering the Air Force on radar, as an officer means. But basically, it's entering as a pilot, helicopter pilot, airplane pilot, that kind of thing. If you have a non-tech degree, as I do, it's easier to enter as an officer pilot. And if you have a technical degree, it's probably be better for you to enter into officer position that is not a pilot position. Luckily, I want to be an airplane pilot, so in the Air Force. So that's it works out just good for me. So see what happens. The AFOQT, go get the Barron's study guide for that. It's not called the AFOQT. It's called something like the Officer Guide to Becoming an Officer or something like that. But get the Barron's version. If you're studying for the AFOQT, get the Barron's ASVAB flashcards. Study the word knowledge, study the mechanics, and study the mathematics on there. That stuff is covered on the AFOQT, but it will probably be a little harder. Also get the GRE Barron's Barron's flashcards. Those are very important. Your word knowledge, other stuff. That stuff is on the AFOQT. So if you want to do it, don't be discouraged. Don't let somebody tell you you can't. Go talk to a recruiter. I just called there. If you don't call, they will probably take down your number, ask you if you've taken the ASVAB. If you've taken it, you'll tell them what you got, and they'll say, "Oh, I'll be in touch." That's not a good idea. So, don't take the ASVAB. Get some questions together that you want to ask them that are relevant to you. Questions that are relevant to somebody else may not be the best questions for you to ask. So ask the questions that matter for you. Pick out 20 or 30 great questions. The recruiter will be happy to answer those. Call, set up a time, go see him. He'll have you take the practice ASVAB. It only covers the 4 most important parts that are used to determine your job, future job in the Air Force, and determine if you're eligible. And it's called the AFQT score. And you'll take that, and he'll score it, and he'll say, "You're really good, I'll schedule you," or you need to work on this stuff and then come back and we'll schedule it. So I took mine, I made a 71. I didn't really try, I just made a 71. So I think I can bump that up 20 or even 30 points to 100. I got 2 weeks to finish studying before I take the actual ASVAB. And if I don't, and I will make a good grade because I'm confident and because I know this stuff. I just gotta refresh it in my mind and like that. But if you don't like your score, you can always take the ASVAB a second time. The recruiter has to do a ton of paperwork for you to take the ASVAB. They pay for it, so it's better for you to be ready. So your recruiter, doesn't have to go through extra work for nothing. But they're there to help you. My recruiter's really great. Really appreciative of them. So yeah, and and then you go to MAPS. If you do want to ASVAB, you go to MAPS, and MAPS is where you do all your physical stuff. They draw blood. They make sure you don't have STDs. They make sure you don't have AIDS. They make sure you are really a girl. Yeah, because there are girls who were not born girls, and they're not. I don't consider them girls, but there are those individuals. There are also going to make you do the duck walk to make sure your joints, are functioning properly. They're going to weigh you. So be your weight. I got to lose 12 pounds, and I'll probably go to MAPS in a couple months, then go to college, graduate, finish studying for the AFOQT, take that, and probably go ahead and apply for my officer commission is the plan. At MAPS, from what I hear, it takes all day. So, and there's stuff you need to know before you go. So ask your recruiter. Well, they take urine samples. All the guys will pee at once in front of an officer or somebody, and all the girls will go into a stall. They'll leave the doors open, but it's not awkward. The woman, from what I hear, stands away, and she just makes sure that it's your urine. And so they'll send that up somewhere up north to a lab and test that. And Oh, if you have tattoos, tattoos can have to cover less than 25% of your body. So just think of your body in 4 parts. Now, if you have your whole back tattooed, you're probably not going to be qualified to enter the Air Force. If you have both your arms tattooed all the way up, I have a guy I know who did that. Not a good idea. I have a tattoo, so it covers only about a third of the top of my half of the top of my arm above my elbow, below my shoulder line, and only on one side. So that it's not finished yet, but that's not that does not disqualify me. I'm fine with that. I'm gonna have to get a waiver for that at MEPS, so that's not a big deal. What else? MEPS is paid for. Your recruiter will normally drive you. I'm gonna do MEPS probably in Memphis, or I'll do it in Oklahoma City when I go back to finish my schooling. It's the last semester before I graduate. It just depends on how much weight I lose over the next month and a half. Pretty sure I'll do it here though. I'll just lose the weight and do it. At MEPS, don't lie to your recruiter. Don't lie to the doctors at MEPS. They're there to help you and to get you through. And if you lie to them, they're going to be pissed because you're wasting their time. And so if you've done drugs, tell them you did drugs. Tell them you did, cocaine or marijuana. Tell them that you have alcohol addiction, whatever. If it disqualifies you, that's too bad. I mean, it's just the way it is. The military is not for everybody, and there's a lot of options out there. You just got to find them, and there's other ways to go about it. After being in the Air Force for 3 years, you can go ahead and apply for entering, getting your undergrad or master's. I'll get my master's if I go and do that. Even if I become an officer, I will still get my master's. It's always good to have more education than less education. Excuse me. So I'm going to do that. And they will pay 100% of your education. So that's pretty cool. If you are a sophomore, junior in college, you need to do the Air Force ROTC. And that is a sure way of getting an officer position. That's the best way to go. All you have to do to become an officer basically is make good grades and stay in shape, and you're off. So because I didn't do that, I didn't know about it. It makes it a little harder for me, but still getting it done. I think that's about all. If you go to MEPS, the Air Force will pay for your hotel room. You'll probably have a roommate, so you'll meet somebody. That's always fun, hopefully. And you just plan on staying there all day. But if you have any questions about taking the ASVAB or studying for it, or if you have any questions about the AFOQT, studying for it, or whatever, or if you have any questions about MEPS, or if you have any questions about being a recruiter, or whatever it is, you can message me, and I will try to answer you as soon as possible. I'm in the process of running about 3 hours a day and doing about 30 minutes of push-ups and sit-ups a day. You're going to need to look at military.com. There are some requirements. But if you go enlisted, you're going to need to know, I think it's like 60 push-ups for men under a minute or something like that. It's pretty crazy. And you're going to have to run under like 13 minutes point something. You're going to have to run in that time frame a mile and a half. So that's not a very big deal. The requirements for women are different than they are for men. So look those up. Go to airforce.com to go to military.com. Research all the branches. Make sure that the Air Force is the one you want to go into. They have the best benefits. But maybe you want to be in the Navy. It's a cool place to be. Maybe you want to be in a different branch. I hear the Army has the worst training. Whether that's true or not, I do not know, but that's what I hear. But you can just do all the research. Don't be lazy. This is your future, so get it done. If you like to party and you like to drink and you do all that stuff, spend too much time on the TV or video game, cut all that out. Get rid of your alcohol addiction. Figure it out. Get rid of it. Don't watch TV. I watch every day. I work part-time at Cracker Barrel and part-time at McAllister's. Like I said, I'm about to graduate college, so I'm pretty sick of working part-time, but I do that. And when I'm not working my 8 hours a day at those two places every day, I am either running 3 hours at this point to lose these 12 pounds, or I am studying for the ASVAB alongside the AFOQT. So I am exhausted, I am busy, I am motivated, I'm excited, but as my reward, I watch 1 hour of TV around 11 or even sometimes 1 in the morning at night. And if I get all my stuff done, I do that for myself. So, it's good to have a reward and to be able to take off some downtime and let your brain rest. You need to get a good night's sleep, 6 to 8 hours of sleep. Don't overdo it. I would say study for the ASVAB or AFOQT a minimum of 6 to 9 hours a day. I spent the first couple of days. I spent about 8 to 11 hours a day studying for the ASVAB, just because I wanted to get to know what was on it real well, and I wanted to see how well I do on it. I took a 2-hour practice test. But don't give up. Work hard at it, and it will pay off. So message me if you need to. I'll answer your questions, and good luck.